with y'all, man. Thank you.
Three, two, one.
You got so trusted now.
That's how we go. That's how we do it here. So, let me get my script out because we are back, people. We are back. It's been 2 weeks since the last episode, of course, and we are back with another beautiful one. Once again, talofa lava, malolele, aloha, yorana, pulavinaka kiora, mabuhay afade, and hello and greetings to all you people out there in La La Land in this crazy world we got going on today. We have a special guest with us today. So it's going to be a Tizite on the Nizite podcast for all my people out there. Please don't forget to leave a review, rate, and subscribe on iTunes or on the YouTube channel because, that's the best way for our podcast to get out there, to reach awareness, to help all of our peoples out, Polynesians, Micronesians, Melanesians. And, we have a guest today that's going to, spread some more love out there to help enforce that, awareness to just life and how we can all just, share some love and spread some tips and help out one another. So, I'm here, AKA DJ Henry Willie's my name, with my lovely co-host, Tala.
Hey.
And let's see what we got here. As far as that's concerned, today we have an awesome gentleman here that's blessed us with his presence.
Yes.
People, Samoan people out there in the world, Polynesians, Melanesians, Micronesians, whatever you are, all walks of life. Thank you for tuning in to the Growing Samoan podcast. And, let's just say, drum roll, please. What's your name, sir?
The full thing. Emmannualle Sale Taylor the first.
Emmannualle Sale Taylor the first. Yeah, we have in the building.
What's happening?
That's the most Gaia-ish intro that I've ever.
I'm about it though. I'm about it.
Because
how would you like to be addressed?
That's what he said. He said his name.
You want
like Sale?
Emmanualle.
Sale. The family knows me as Sale.
All right.
one of the first tests that if you call me Emmanuel, okay, we don't know each other.
Yeah, right.
All right.
I know Sale is Sale.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, Manny. Like, fuck you.
So Sale, to give you guys a little bit of background about Sale, this is something that I love, and I'm going to Sale's Instagram page here right quick, and I'm going to read it because
it's all random.
Your Instagram page is fire, bro. And let me just go right here to it. So here we go. This is Sale's Instagram page, and this is the best way I can introduce him. Okay, Emmannualle Sale Taylor, musician/band. Sometimes I act, sometimes I sing, sometimes I play, and sometimes I fight. These are pieces of me. Tasi alofa. I love that, bro. I love that, bro. It means one love for all you not Samoan speaking people out there in the world. Tasi alofa, one love. And your Instagram page is fire, bro. It's like, if you guys want to check it out, we'll put all the Sale's links at the end of the show notes so you guys can check out his Instagram, and we got Twitter and all that, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah.
You got all those social media. There you go.
Oh, there we go. We had a little pause there. Can you hear it? Are we good? You still good?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So you're a musical artist, right? You're a musical artist, right?
Sorry, you're pausing out.
Yeah.
Hold on, we're having a little bit technical difficulties here.
Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yeah, you're good now.
There you go.
There you go. Is that better?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You're good.
I don't see you. Oh yeah, wait.
We can hear you though. I think you
hear
just
me?
got it. Yeah.
Hey.
All right, we're back.
Now I can see you.
It's all good. We're still in this whole new world of COVID-19 pandemic, you know, learning how to use Zoom and everything. But, you know,
Same
shouts
here.
out to Zoom. Shouts out to Zoom, though. You know, they've been real
Hey.
good to the world, you know. Zoom, they have surpassed all the airlines put together in their like network. They're worth more than all the airlines put together. I'm not sure what the exact numbers are, but I can probably find that, put that link down. And Zoom is making the world go round right now. That's what we're doing. We're using right now, people, and it's pretty awesome to be connected to you.
Yeah, especially in quarantine. Yeah. Big plus.
Yeah.
So you got some stories, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. I have a band. Right now we are called For Sale or For Sale.
Let us the number 4 and then SALE, right?
Yes,
Sale.
sir.
See, in the Palangin is like sale, but
Exactly.
Samoan is like
fun with
Sale.
it.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that. So
it's like the world's worst dad joke ever, but I love it.
Bro, you ain't gotta tell me twice about dad jokes. I get cracked on all the time about those. But yeah, man. So now, as our special guest here today, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Tell us about your background and where you grew up in, and how was your upbringings in a Samoan household, and your beginnings, man. Let us know about your beginnings, man.
Born in Seattle
Mm-hmm.
to some amazing parents, Thomas and Jackie.
Big shout outs.
They're both remarried now. So my father's now with Sang Lim, Mama Sang, Mama Sa, Mama Kusa.
Hey.
They call her. That's the stupid joke I've been committing to for years.
It's all good.
Keep committing to it, bro. You got some fans out there. Yeah. It's all good.
She loves it, I'm sure, and has a smile on her face when you do that.
Nope. that joke's ran its course.
Then cut that one out.
But I'm sticking to it.
Stick to your guns.
You own it.
Stick to your guns.
I'm about committing. I'm all about committing to it. My mother is with Sale Lo Tuli. Great man, great women. I've been raised by. It's really cool. Very raised by very strong women and men of color. You know, Samoan men and women. We are mixed with a bunch of other stuff, but like the active ingredient in us is Samoan.
Right.
And it was really cool. And very, very weird where we were having to try to balance out of like trying to, be noticed and seen in today's society in America. And, but like having at least an appreciation of our culture. Mm-hmm. And that I'm aware, like we are Samoan. And, all the lovers have reminded us that we are Samoan. Growing up.
They keep you on your toes. Yep.
That is the main word in the Samoan culture.
That is like the big one. Like you need Samoan. What's love? You're like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have to give money.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, all right, yeah, you're one of us.
But you're if I were to see you walking down the street, there's a Uso right there. You can't.
I stick out, man.
You also, you can see that when you look at Salah, you be like, that's a poly right there. That's a Us. Like all the other kids like that are non-Polynesian, they'd be like, there you go. That's one of the characters from Moana.
Like Maui with a beard, man.
It's Maui. That's Maui. That's funny.
Well, man, I remember the first time I saw that movie, I waited like a few weeks.
Yeah.
And there's a theater like downtown Albuquerque where it's never busy.
So that's where you're from? You're out in New Mexico.
I'm in Albuquerque right now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
New Mexico. Okay. New Mexico.
But like, it was just like a quick little funny side story. Like I went to go see Moana, and it was just me in the theater. And I was like, "Oh, word, man!" So I could react because it was like a few weeks later. This theater downtown that no one's really at. I love going to the spot. So from the first song, I recognize and hearing like this is our words, this is our voice, this is our people.
Yeah.
I started crying
Word.
so loud. Oh, we made it! Like by myself in the theater.
That's amazing that you said that, because we even talked about that too on another podcast with some other people about when Moana came out. And yeah, it's the truth. It's like that.
Yeah, we got to have our own island princess.
Like Disney, we grew up with Disney so long, and to finally have a Disney cartoon movie of our own, it just it hit every single islander around the world. Like, damn.
Yeah, bro, you were crying in the theater, but luckily you were by yourself.
Yeah. Were you crying and then you thought you were alone, then you turn around, there was like a family behind you?
And a family was just walking in right when I was crying, bro. And like it was one of those moments where like some happy little Palangi kids like, ah, and you see this big old blubber and Maui looking bearded dude.
I feel you, bro, because I know, because as a musical artist, people, Sale Taylor is a musical artist. He has his own band. He loves it. It's in the soul. It's in his soul. It's in his heart. And I know that feeling too, man, where you're there, you're witnessing, a turnaround in the world where, we're being recognized as, a community, and people are, being seen, and you hear the music of our people out in a worldwide, sense, and you're just like, wow, so much emotion. When we went to watch Moana, we went with like 50 of us.
That's how you
right,
dude.
Yeah, man.
We went. It was so many of us. It was the biggest thing because we are all family orientated. There's so many kids, and we went to the Federal Way Cinemax Theater, and we went in like I don't know how many cars, but it was
the
mostly
one
all kids.
at Commons.
At
the
Commons,
Mall.
yeah. If you're in Federal Way area, it's at the mall. And I don't know, we were all lined up. And me as a 40-year-old old Samoan man, and I'm sitting there, and right when it hits, and just like you said, you start hearing the singing. And then I look at all the kids. They're all just sitting there eating popcorn and smiling. Look at all my family. I'm sitting next to my wife, and I'm just like, damn, this is and everybody in the theater was all like either Pacific Islander or and it was like mostly all polys. And I was like, wow. I got a little emotional too. I was like, damn, this is what's up. I love it. I love it.
Representation matters, man.
I can't believe it.
So you mean when you were saying that you had something in your eye, you were actually crying?
No, the salt from the popcorn, when I was trying to pop the popcorn and one hit my eye, and I was like, oh, what the hell is this thing in my eye? So yeah, that's what happened. And then I slept on some Sprite. But yeah, man, the Moana, big shout out to Moana. That's
So what was the reaction of the little girl when she saw you? She just turned around and ran.
The little kid was like just staring at me. I didn't care, man. I didn't give a damn. I was like, yo, welcome to my movie. Just like, sit down, join me. Like, welcome to my. It was like, that was one of the biggest things of representation matters. You want to hear a cool little fun fact?
Yeah.
My mom and I, we have the same agent.
Okay.
What?
And my mom's first booking, I remember one time my agent, I've skipped ahead, but I'll get to like where I've come from. Okay. It was like another stay on that.
No, go ahead.
My agent called me. She's like, do you know no one that speaks Samoan? I'm like, well, first it's Samoan. And then she's like, fine. Do you know anyone speaks Samoan? I'm like, thank you for the less attitude next time. But I was like, yeah, like what are you looking for? Like, I need a calming voice to who can speak Samoan or can speak with an island accent, whatever that means. I'm like, my mom.
Yeah.
So she called like the clean Fabi accent, when you're from the islands, but you're speaking to Palangis and stuff,
Right.
Hello, welcome.
Auntie Jackie like she got the beautiful voice too. She can pull that off.
Exactly. So my agent called my mom, and shout out to Tina Pressy Talent Group. Hey.
Big ups.
Tina calls my mom, and one thing led to another. My mom auditioned. She got the part. she went to LA, did some voiceovers for a Moana app.
Nice.
Nice.
So
That's
there's a
awesome.
Moana app out there. My mom is the voice of the ocean.
Hey, big shout out to Auntie
What? Good
Jackie
job. Oh, way to go,
for
Auntie
being the
Jackie.
Moana voice of the ocean on the Moana app. If you guys
So,
already
like,
have that Moana app, then you guys have heard it here live. That is Salah's mom.
That's
You
some
know,
cool stuff, man.
big ups,
Yeah, that's
big ups.
awesome stuff.
I didn't know that,
So,
man. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's like a little
Right.
something that we've been sitting on, but like, you know, just don't tell anyone, but tell everyone.
Tell everybody it's out there right now. You know, and you know, I gotta, you know, big ups to moms. You know, Auntie Jackie. She's a big icon out here in the Northwest. I mean, we love her so much. Your mom's is not only from the Northwest to Hawaii, you know, everywhere. You know, I just want to say, you know, I love, you know, moms. Big up, shout outs all the way. You know, been there since day one. Fire, always putting out love. You know, woman of God too.
And like just an amazing voice. The first voice I remember hearing.
Talented, so talented, singing and everything. That's where y'all get it from, man. You know, you get it from your mama.
Word, man, word. We got vocals from her and then musician skills from my pops, man. Like,
oh yeah, no doubt.
Like things that we took for granted. So I was raised Seattle, Hawaii, Cali.
So where were you born at? Born
Swedish Hospital.
Okay.
Seattle,
Washington.
Right. Seattle. Yes.
Yeah, you really were in Seattle.
And then you tell us a little bit about your upbringing is in the South End of Seattle. That's what the locals out here call it, the South End. It's spelled SOUF. South End.
So you still got it?
Oh yeah, I'm forever that kid from Holly Park, man.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Right next to UGM. Like I'm forever one of those kids. I was raised there. It was a cool church. You know, my father was one of the pastoral staff. What later became a Jubilee Christian Center. Used to be First Samoan Assembly of God. It was under my great grandmother, Pastor Fiva Talanga.
Okay.
And then it was then taken over by her son, the late Reverend Tony Talanga.
Okay.
So I was raised around it was really cool, like raised around both sides of the my mom's side, my dad's side, the Talanga Lona side, and then the
also
Taylor,
known as Washington, right?
Washington side.
Yep.
That was our church. My mom and dad, they ran the praise and worship music ministry. After my uncle Vic Kalanga, when he went down to Cali, I think, then my mom and dad took over the youth and music ministry and stuff. So we were raised in church. We were raised in the ministry. We were raised in that side of keeping an eye out for music and stuff. We had no choice but to play instruments since we were kids, and also to cook. Mom and dad had it right. Make a bunch of kids and teach them how to cook, teach them how to play.
Yep.
And so we've
been there, bro.
You know what's up, y'all.
Air 5, Zoom 5 right here. Hey. She can't relate. So, you know. But, you know. I feel you.
I'm Catholic raised.
She had it good.
That's a long service. Those
or not
classes,
good,
man.
She had it easy. But go ahead.
It was really cool. The first instrument my dad got us on was like a little drum kit. I was 4. Thomas was probably 6. Isaiah was 2, maybe 3. There was the 3 of us then, and I remember.
Those your siblings, right?
Yes, sir.
The Cuddies.
All together, there's 9 of us, and I've given up on learning the new ones' names. I don't know who they are.
They're still coming. They're still coming.
Man.
That's how you know you a Samoan household right there.
My favorite part is like when someone's getting yelled at, they go through everyone else's name before it gets to your name. Even if even past pets names, they go through their names before it gets your damn name. Like, Isaiah, Ezekiel, Princess, Sheba.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Take a breath.
I'm a mom. I do that.
girl, I can only imagine.
And you know,
And like
it's,
the kid just patiently just standing there waiting for you to get their name right.
Yeah. Or I'll call them somebody else's name, and they'll be like, "Mom,
Like,
it's
like,
me,
you
Bossy."
okay? Like, oh, and then it just probably pisses you off even more. Like,
Yeah.
shut up! You shut up your mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. See,
Shout
English is
out.
my second language, so I actually revert back to speaking
Those
nothing but Samoan.
those
So.
are
Oh,
the
that's how you tell.
three words right there in every household. Samoan household. Shut up the mouth. Shut up the mouth.
That one you can tell you're in trouble, and the parents go like, "Fuck out of here!" Like, oh damn.
Bacari, oi.
Yeah, oi.
Mhm.
Oh, funny. Oh shit.
So
Mhm.
Uh,
so
we started. We played this little drum kit. My dad woke us up every morning, had like morning devotion,
Yeah,
mhm.
yeah.
and my brothers and I would rotate on the drums. And then I remember in Holly Park, they also had this upright piano. I still remember the tone of that piano. It was like it was like out of tune a little bit, but just enough that I could still play and hear
Yeah.
the right thing. And so we went to piano next, and then my big brother Thomas, he stayed on the drum kit. He plays a little bit keys, but like that dude still kills on the drums. Even though he says he's like retired, every time he jumps back on the kit, I forget. Like this dude still got it. That dude's still bad, man. You got that. I'm worked on keys, and then later, now I just I produce music too. So like I'm one of those dudes that I play by ear, and even as a music director, when I'm playing with other artists and sitting around with other bands, I would have to learn. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Apologize, but
No, you're fine.
uh,
no worries,
I would
bro.
have I would have to learn the language of each musician or each instrument so that I can better like get information to them. So I play other instruments just so that I can like, can you play like this? And then they'll play better. But
Mhm.
like it's just things that like I had to learn how to communicate. But like growing up, mostly we played piano, and later
Kind of.
Oh, we're kind of fading in and out there.
There we go.
There you go.
is that better now?
There,
Yeah,
there
yeah,
you go.
that's good.
You froze like.
Yeah.
Okay, is that better now?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. So your musical talents
Yeah, that's awesome.
came from the church, from the
Church,
upbringings
yeah,
in
so
the
just
church.
rooted in church. I
Mhm.
remember
Pop starting you
uh,
guys off on the drum kits and everything. And you and the big
yep.
broski and the little broskis. You know.
Yeah, I think it's totally awesome that you could play by ear. I mean, I would love. I play piano too, but
Yeah.
I would love to have had that talent to be able to just like listen and just start, playing it off.
It,
But
it's a beautiful thing. You listen to music differently, and but like we what I lacked in like music theory, like I wish I had a better footing in that. Even now, I'm trying to catch up now with all this downtime.
Mhm.
It's kind of cool though. There's always been that side where we're envious of like those who like you can look at a sheet and make that come to life. Or like, damn.
Yeah, yeah.
For me, I'm like, I'm just making noise.
You're
I'm just guessing the whole time.
You're guessing.
guessing right.
You're guessing, but you're very musically talented. And there's
You're musically gifted.
gifted. Yeah, some people don't have, like, I like to talk about like the DJing when you got to have an ear for music. I always say, some people can
Yeah.
just be out there and just be playing Gaia and just press play. But if you know how to mix and everything, you have an ear for music. You can just keep it going, keep the party moving. Like you can play keys off the ear. You can. Some people have it. It's just a God-given talent, right?
It,
And I just, that's what I love about you, is because you guys are so talented. But not only are you talented, you took that talent and you just kept moving forward with it and holding on to it, and just continuing to keep that in your life. And some people are stuck behind a desk job, bro. They just got so much talent, but this is what I got to do because I got
I gotta
to
type an
pay
email.
and, there's nothing wrong with that. You can do side, gigs on the side and everything, but for you to keep that as your main sole source, I admire that. I admire that.
It's crazy, yeah. Like I remember when I got my first proper payment. I was like, "You get paid to do this shit? Like,
What?
like, are you serious?" Like, when like
Nice.
first gig. I'll get to how I got my first band going, but like that's a pretty cool story. But like we're coming up in Seattle, like we're playing. I remember I was with my cousins. It's kind of funny, like how certain things or certain perspectives of things. Um, I saw church as like just time to be around family. Even when you guys were still in Seattle, like back then, where you're back in Seattle now. But I remember when with Pops, when you guys had your stuff, and like we would go and visit you guys, and I was like, I get to see my cousins, like
yeah,
this is like family time. Like I was like excited, and but like other people who just weren't as involved or wasn't, they're just like, oh, we got to go sit down, like, but we were like a lot of times I know, and we were active in church and we were doing stuff. And a lot of times we were dreading that, but like the way I saw it was, I was like, I'm with family.
yeah,
And like that's what helped like frame my mindset of how I see and help and view people in the sense of like, are we family or are we not?
yeah, yeah.
Because like that determines how much more I'm going to help you or how much more I'm going to go out of my way to see them follow through. Because like when I'm around family, we bend our backs backwards for each other because we're family.
Yeah,
that's what we do.
Yeah.
And so like one of the ways that's like helped me frame like how I'm working with people, like, are we family or are we not? If not, cool, I'll help you, but I ain't gonna bend over backwards for you, because it's not that what you're gonna do for me. It's just like I gotta protect myself. Like very few people that I have out here that I consider family, because we've earned each other's respect and we've earned each other's place in a sense of like, I got you, you got me. I'll go to hell for you.
That trust over the years.
You gotta be careful. Yeah, there's just weirdos out there, crazy people that just, like I like to say is, people always have an agenda. Yeah, and you gotta be very weary about, okay, you're cool, but I sense you have something that you're trying to use me for. It's not just complete love and honesty. I sense something there. Yeah, that's cool though, man. You gotta, like you said, there's only a few.
Yeah, exactly. That's another reason why I don't spend too much time in LA. I'll go do my work, and as soon as I'm wrapped, I'll say hi to family, and I leave. I can't be around LA if I have downtime too long, because like, if I have too much downtime, I can't be in LA.
Yeah.
I'll go and visit, escape, say what's up, and then if I'm working, I'll go work and get out.
You just lost all your LA fans. You know that, right?
They don't deserve me. It's kind of funny though, because like because I'm also an actor. It's like that part of the world. It's still weird, man.
That's what I love too, because everybody's personal preference is different. You can't, going against the grain is not going against the grain. It's just being yourself, and just like you said, I just got to get out of there. I love that, because some people say, no, I gotta be like them.
Some get sucked in.
They get sucked in. But and some people that want to do that, that's fine. That's their preference. But like you said, fuck that. I'm out of there. I go to get what I need to get done, and I'm out, and I feel good. And as long as you feel good, that's what we like to preach about too. Be yourself and do what you think is good for you.
There are like even fewer people though in the industry in LA though, like that I will consider, I will fight for. And like if I get a call, I need help, I'm out. I'm going. I'm there for you.
There you go. There you go.
But like the one of the hardest lessons I've had to learn was that you got to protect yourself too sometimes.
Yeah. CYA. And that's what I call it.
Cover your ass, man.
Cover your ass. CYA. Cover your ass.
I hate the feeling at times where I'm like, I'm going out there and I feel like I'm fighting for my soul.
Yeah, it can be. I'm from LA. It sucks the life out of you sometimes.
Girl,
I'm from the LBC, but
Oh man, summertime, man. Like it's funny though. Like I'll go and see my family and say what's up and be seen, like hang out, and like I'll see you guys. But as soon as I'm done with work, If I don't, here's the biggest thing for me. One of my running mottos I have for my life is like, if I don't need to be there, you ain't gonna see me.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
You know, you're conserving energy. I've turned down red carpet events because don't need to be there.
Yeah.
I have massive anxiety that I like rather not.
Oh, you have you have like anxiety, like around large groups of people.
That came. That's another story that connected to that. I'm gonna get to the second. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Seattle Jubilee, being around our family. Just,
after the church, you start getting older.
We moved to Hawaii, doing the church thing there, and like I was went even more so. My mom and dad went, you know, going wherever church we were working with. Sometimes I would step in, play for them. But it was always cool. Like we learned a lot to just watch and listen and grow from that.
What part of Hawaii? What part? Oahu.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
They were all around that spot.
Yeah.
The first church we got in, it was now he's recently passed. Shout out to the late great Bishop Robert Boat and his family. They welcomed us in. That was a cool spot where we got to hone a lot of young skills that we've never really been by, just us, and then working with other families, and all right, we got you. We're learning our place, how to work from in there, and it was really cool. It was very humbling because we had they put us on a bit of a schedule, like we during the week do a school thing
in Hawaii.
Chores. Yes, sir.
How old were you? Around what age were you when you were in Hawaii? Because this is
12.
So it's coming from 12. Seattle, and then
so like middle school, like it is middle school years.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's beautiful though. You get to experience your upbringings in different parts of the world. It's always good.
It's really cool because Hawaii was and is still beautiful. Like from when we were with the boat family, and then later it was tough to keep all of us there together. It's expensive, man. But once again, that perception of just I'm just with family. I'm with my brothers. That was when my brothers, our siblings, we got to finally know each other because being raised in Seattle, we were around our cousins, and we had our cousins who were our age, and we had
your age groups.
Older. Yeah, I don't need to talk to my brother. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
My kids have that right now.
It's a beautiful thing, but it's one of those things that they need to find out for themselves on how important their siblings are. They are to each other.
Yeah.
And it's going to face hopefully it doesn't get too bad of a lesson where it gets heavy, where they realize they're all they got. We got our cousins. That one of the coolest things, our cousins, we were raised as siblings too. So that's my brother. That's just how close we all are.
A lot of non-Polynesians don't understand the concept.
That's your brother? How many brothers you have?
When we say, "Oh, that's my bro, that's my bro, that's my sis, that's my sis,"
it's my cousin.
When they're technically our cousin, they're like, "What? Wait a minute! I thought you said that was how many brothers, sisters?" Like, no, you don't get it.
Brother, cousin, my sister, cousin.
Yeah, you got to do it that way.
Yeah.
But it's true though. We grew up doing that. But then you don't build that relationship with your own siblings because you have your own cousins that are you're closer to than your own siblings.
That's that right there alone just shows how much love that Polynesians have for family. That's that right there alone. It just separates us, It's because you see Hawaiians, Lilo and Stitch movie, Ohana means family. It's the same thing. It's just like
that legit,
family. That's why every time I think I heard it from Snoop, like Snoop Dogg, he was talking about, the Polynesians? If you're gonna fight one of them, the whole family gonna come out.
All of them, man. All of them.
You don't have to fight all of them because he grew up around Polys in Long Beach. So and like we grew up. A lot of other cultures, they always say, man, man, why your family so big? How many is this? Like, well, I don't know. I guess you don't see it how we see it, you know?
Yeah, like,
Family
that's just my
is
bro.
everything. Is everything to us. So it's like when you see a cousin, you're like, no, he's my brother. It's my brother. It's my sister. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's cool.
It's a beautiful thing, but like just a little observation I made, like if you can find balance or allow a chance for your kids to let them know that they've all they got, and it took Hawaii for my brothers and I to finally get through that.
I do
Because we
agree with
fought a
you.
lot.
I do agree with that. There have been moments where I wish I could just take my kids and move to another state where there isn't any family so they can build a bond just between each other.
Like it will come though. Like it's one of those things that if they allow it, and like it will happen, they will realize that, all right, that is my brother as well.
Yeah.
And we got each other.
Yeah.
But it was just funny. Like growing up, we didn't really like each other.
Yeah, no, I understand. I have siblings too. I understand. Yeah, I mean, it's not that. I mean, it's just that either we didn't like each other, or we didn't have anything in common.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
so we could just sit at the table together, and yet we don't know what to say to each other, because I don't know what you do with your friends. I don't know what, you know what I mean? So it was definitely harder.
It was also like even weird having the concept of having friends too, because like I got my cousins.
Yeah, you got your cousins. Why would you need friends?
Exactly. But then like, oh, I got a little bit of friends. I do.
Yeah.
But
like
this
5?
is crazy.
Less than 5?
Pretty much, you know. Yeah, I got a very, very, very small circle, but I'm proud of my small circle because they know that, and we know that we got each other's back.
That's true. They're the ones who've been there from. That's what you would call your day ones. You know.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Totally understand.
Okay, so where we're at in Hawaii with the
we were in Hawaii. We're growing up, doing church thing, learning about my siblings.
Big ups to the Sibs. And now you're the you're the second oldest, right?
For my dad, I'm the third.
Okay, we're not gonna get into that. I was just hold on. I forgot that it's still going. So so Saleh is a sibling.
I'm in the top tier.
Okay, we'll just leave it right there. Because that's a whole other podcast, and we can just break down the tree line.
Well, Saleh said there's 9 in total. Okay, so where do you fall in the 9?
We'll hold it right there. He's the top tier.
Top 3. I'm top tier. Yep.
See?
But
like I'm up there, but like it was the 5 of us when we were going around in Hawaii, and then I was then raised a little bit by my uncle Fomai from the Faitau side, and Uncle Fomai, Auntie Anna, recently who passed away, she's like another mother to me. It was a crazy thing, like I'm very limited in my Samoan vocabulary.
Oh, that's
but
fine.
like look, it was a cool thing though. I learned was like I never learned the word of uncle and auntie. I learned tama tina. Like that's father and mother. Like that. That's just, and I've associated that language to my perception of like mother, father. Like that is, you know, especially with Uncle Famai and them when they took me in with my cousin Ophie. You know, I was a son too. You know, and like another concept of like how we see family. Like you don't, like a lot of people don't understand. Like that is my family. I will fucking die for them.
Yeah.
Because they would for me.
Right.
You know, and so the bonds that we have, like, and you know, anytime that we lose someone, it really hits us when we notice that absence. Because we feel that absence, and we're reminded of that absence because every single person in the family has played a role in our life or in the family.
Yeah.
You know, especially the older we get, the heavier the role becomes. That's just how, you know, dynamics happen in family. And so like one of the things that like the lesson I'm constantly taught throughout life is like, don't take family for granted. You know, and whatever final interaction you have, final memory you have, make sure it's that of a good one.
Right.
Because literally, man, it's literally we literally get seasons of funerals, man.
Preach it, man. Preach it.
And right now is no different, you know. But the thing is, we're not the only ones going through it. So there's other people, other families going through it, and it's heavy. So like even more so, we got to stress and like make sure that last memory is that of a good one.
Yeah,
because you'll never know.
that's true.
And the scariest thing, like I'm 40 years old. I'm a 40-year-old Samoan man, and the scariest thing to me is I'm next. You know, so what am I gonna do with my time?
Yeah,
And, you know what I'm saying? It's like I've been raised in you know, like you said, you know, you got to cherish that, you know, your family more than anything. You know, when my parents passed away, I seen aunties and uncles, cousins. Recently, a lot of friends. You know, we also had, you know, Uncle Fred Taylor. You know, who passed away, and the list goes on and on. And I stop there and I say to myself, okay, so if I, you know, look at them and I appreciate, you know, everything that has happened, you know, the time I got to spend with them, what am I doing for myself to, you know, take care of my time to spend with my wife, my kids, you know, my siblings? And that's the scariest thing for me. And I want to say scariest thing, but it's just an eye opener, an awakening that be like, okay, and get your shit together. You know, you can do this, because that's what we, like me and Tala, you know, we preach on this podcast is time. That's the thing we're reaching for, is the most important. That's our why of why we're doing this podcast. That's our why of, you know, us reaching, you know, what we call financial freedom. So we can have the time to, the more time we have free, the more time we have to spend with each other. The more time I have to spend with Tyler, more time I had to spend with you. We could be kicking it with you down there in sunny New Mexico. You feel me?
With it, man.
I'm telling you,
with it, man.
time. But it's all about time, right? Instead, I gotta go to this 9 to 5. I gotta clock in. I gotta clock out. But we have a plan. We have a plan set, and financial education has got us there. To it's looking like a 5-year, 7-year plan. When we hit that, we'll be financially free. And then I'll be like, we'll go anywhere we want to. And all that time will be ours. So we can spend with our family, whoever it may be, you know. And, you know, that's why I love what you're saying about, you know, your family is the most important thing, because that's the reason why we're doing this. I mean, not only, I'm not even looking at the future. This podcast, bro, the last time I think I saw you was at Uncle Joe's funeral. Now, for the listeners, this is my cousin Saleh. We grew up. I remember Saleh always running around. He was a little Ulavale guy right here.
Isaiah, man. That was Isaiah.
Oh, that was okay. No, my bad. That was Isaiah. Isaiah's little sibling. You know what? You're right. You're right. No, when you guys were little kids, I remember going to Jubilee, and I was like, no, I was like in a freshman in high school, I think.
Yeah.
So if I was a freshman, I think you were just like, I'm 40. So how old are you right now?
32.
So you're 32? Oh, yeah. So you were like in elementary then?
Elementary, yeah.
Yeah, and Isaiah was just a baby too. And I remember, I was like growing up with you guys, every time I visited, you know, moms and pops, and you guys, you and Thomas, you guys would just be wrestling with each other, you know.
Yep.
You know, fast forward to now, you know, and
you guys still wrestling with each other?
Oh, you know they are.
Actually, yeah.
And fast forward to now, you know, all these years have rolled by, and we've witnessed, you know, family, you know, like we were just talking about, family, loved ones, your loved ones, my loved ones, passing away, right? Passing away. And with this podcast, not only has it brought like, you know, meaning for me to help provide information with you, like you giving out information to the world, for our peoples, us giving out information to the world, to our peoples. Well, we're sharing it together right here on this podcast together. I get to spend time with my family, my loved one. You know what I'm saying?
Just hanging out with family.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I love about it. You know, I love about this the podcast space, especially for our community, because it's we have a little space, whatever it may be, you know. But the podcast world, it really it really just gets us out there to, some people use it for therapy, like therapeutic measures. Others, just use it to entertain. We like to say we use it, to just share information. We share information. We get guests on, like you, my beautiful Cuddy, and we're sharing this information that you can, help, share more inspiration to people. And
like watching Nana's and Isaac's videos, like, damn, man, like, one, and maybe like it just gave me more insight of their process and like learning more about them. Like, that's my family, that's my brother, that's my sister.
Yeah.
And then watching y'all work, that's my brother, that's my sister. And like even more so, like getting me hit to some stuff. I didn't realize they're going through that too.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's crazy because it's not just us, you know what I mean? Like even things like when Isaac opened up, these are things that we don't know. Nobody knows, you know, and we appreciate, especially them for being that open and being.
Dog, it's 2020, but it doesn't matter. Human nature will always be the same, right? Like when it's taboo subjects you want to talk about, stories, whether it was 100 years ago, 200 years ago, I bet your people was in our village like, no, I will. Don't tell them about what happened over there on the beach. You know what I'm saying?
Enough of that shit, man. Let's talk about it.
Exactly. And it's 2020. We're like, nope. If it can help people out, make them feel comfortable, to push forward and to help them out in their lives, in their daily lives, their relationships, their finances, let's do it.
I mean, people, when we started the podcast, it was a little hard trying to open up about subjects that we normally wouldn't let people know what's going on in our lives, or and that's not, we could be Ma, or we could be whatever it may be, but at the same time, when you do put it out there, there are people out there that are going through the same thing that we went through, and you would have never known how much of a big help and an inspiration that could be to them.
Exactly.
So
like one of the things I'm doing right now, that I'll gladly go through the shit if it means that my kids, my nieces, my nephews, my cousins could get in there or easier with less heartache. I'll gladly go through the fire, so that if it means for them to not have to unnecessarily go through anything, I'll take that shit myself.
Yeah, and they get to hear like experiences and be like, oh, okay, okay, I'll make sure I'll avoid that. Oh, okay, wow, I've been through that. Wow, that's amazing. I can relate to it. Oh, that's how they got through it. Oh, I love it. And just to see someone like you, just being.
I mean, you're an inspiration yourself. I mean, looking at where you're coming from and where you are now, and where you guys still got the whole world in front of you.
Yeah, and we're just looking to move and groove, man.
So all the listeners out there, episode 26 and episode 28, we had Nana and Isaac. Now, Nana and Isaac and Sale was family. We keep it tight. It's all family, and
man.
It's a very, very talented family, and it brings joy to me because this is family. You know what I'm saying? I got family, all over the place, and I always encourage family like, hey, if you want to sit down and hop on the podcast and talk about something, please tell me, let me know, because your story needs to be heard. Because there's so many people, our peeps out there in the world that can relate. So, I just want to say, thank you, first, because you reached out to me. I was like, dude, let's do it, and
thank you for blessing us with your time, because I know you're a busy man.
So let's get into the dirty stuff of the story. Let's go deep down.
All right, let's get real.
No, I'm just joking.
Let's get real.
We were in Hawaii. We finished up in Hawaii. And how long were you guys out there?
We were there for a few years.
Okay.
And then I'm getting ready to go into high school, and mom and dad got a position at this church in Cali, up in Menlo Park Presbyterian Church.
Okay.
And the first thing that blew my mind, I was like, "You get paid to be a pastor?" So like,
Yeah.
What? They were hired staff. They were hired salary. I was like, we can get what? You get salary? As pastors, like, and we went over there, and here's where things just starting to get real. As respectful as I can tell the story, I can tell my part at least.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Well, look at my face. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, man.
This is I want to listen.
This is the Spike Scala side right now.
I'm trying to fight back.
We both had that side. Here's a part where I started to notice as kids. It was like my mom and dad were starting to argue and fight more about anything and everything, but mostly about money.
Yeah.
It was crazy. We just walked into this new world where the church had mostly millionaires going to the church.
Oh, geez.
And I couldn't imagine, I know that they might have had their own things going on, but from what I was seeing, I just remember seeing like, okay, something's different. This is a different type of thing. And like, it was almost like you giving us a little bit too much in too little time.
Yeah.
Or it was just like, like certain things that could have been avoided had we slowed down.
Yeah.
Because there was a new pace that the family was going at. I was going to a pretty dominant high school that like 40% of the students goes to Stanford because there's right down the street from Stanford.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And like, all right, going playing football. Like we all grew up athletic and stuff, but like, it was weird. I was one of those weird students that like, I knew the shit, I did the work, but I didn't turn it in because I was just fucking weird, man. I also like, I didn't like being told what to do a lot.
Yeah.
It was weird.
I have a problem with authority too.
I do big time. But I'm like very subtle about it, and I get away with it however I can.
Mm-hmm.
But like I was acting out, but I was playing football, I was playing rugby. I was fit too. Shit. Oh God, I miss that. Getting out of the car and not sweating. God, I miss that. Just out of fucking breath, man.
Out of breath, right?
Like walking around, like, you okay, bro? Like, no, I just peeled an orange, man. But like, there's a lot of things starting to happen and stuff, and my mom and dad separated.
Yeah.
There began this weird, tumultuous journey where, like, I imagine, they started the family so young and they got married so young.
Yeah.
And they might have lost a lot of time of individuality. They lost a lot, They went straight to the collective. We were raised in this collective sense of like, always for them, always for your family, always for your faith. But then we were never really taught, like, you got to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You got to catch a moment, at least if you can.
Yeah.
And
kind of like who you are, learn who you are, and build you don't know who you are if you don't know what you like personally as an individual.
Exactly. And you can get lost.
Yeah.
In this sense.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I want to make sure my battery is charging. My phone is charging. Okay, it's charging.
Okay.
Then began that whole thing. We were working our way back up to Seattle.
Yeah.
Dad was going through depression heavy. I was going through depression. Actually, there's a time where it hit heavy. And I was ready for the end. I was fucking ready.
Oh, goodness.
So moms and pops, you're saying that through this next chapter after Hawaii, they came to terms of differences, and they ended up divorcing and splitting. Now, and then from then, you guys moved with pops back to Seattle from California.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this
But
is
before went back, mom came back to Seattle. Then she went to Hawaii.
Gotcha.
Dad, we were dad. I was trying to finish out the school year.
yeah.
It was a bit of it was weird. It was like a fog, and I began my depression years.
Yeah.
But
And
like,
no,
it,
the one thing that you know that I can't relate to is, you know, having to be a child, you know, with parents who are divorced, you know, and I can only imagine, you know what I'm saying? So it's you're it's good to listen to a perspective because you're a grown ass man now, but
yeah,
from a grown ass man Samoan's perspective of being raised in, you know, a family who has separation, because this happens all over the world, you know, millions and millions of people, they get separated. I have family members who are separated, divorced in this, you know, and it's nice to have somebody to, you know, so I can pick your brain and get all the nuggets out of, you know, but, you know, that somehow, some way can help out a listener out there and that can relate to your story, you know.
the hardest part was we weren't really trained, you know, especially as like Samoan men, young men growing up.
Yeah.
We were really trained to ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't really trained to feel, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird, man. It's one of the things I didn't like. I didn't know how to ask my dad, "Are you okay?"
You gotta be
strong.
You gotta be strong.
You know. For I didn't know. I didn't really have that dynamic with my dad of even like being, "Are you okay?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it was always that weird, fucking dynamic of like, he's the father, I'm the son. I don't talk to him.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean,
there's a lot of Samoan households like that.
Bro, I'm right here. Like my pops was the same way. Like I preach it all the time. Like, you know, I barely had conversations with him, you know, even though we were in the same household together. Oh yeah, Samoan household, man. That's how it is, man. You know.
Even then, like, you can even test this even more so too, because like with pops, everyone's story about their relationship with him was different than yours. You're like, I wish I could see what you're talking about.
Because you're a 5 feet out son, that's why.
And we have to know our place. Yeah. We have to, we have to do it, do as they say and all that stuff. And keep our mouths shut, But like, I didn't know how to ask my dad if he's okay. I didn't even know how to ask if I'm okay. All I knew is that I fucking hated this. I blamed myself for their separation because, like, as I was watching everything, I was like, I could have done this, and then this could have changed. I could have said something, and then this could have changed. But like, ultimately, it was between them. But like, I was so close to it, I thought I was involved. Like, no, that's one of the hardest things about some kids with divorce. A lot of them just can't understand or accept that. Like, a lot of times, the divorce or the separation has nothing to do with the kids, and the parents don't know how to communicate that to the kids because they're going through their own shit. We forget they're human. And so, like, I remember this day when, on my way to school, as I'm walking, there's a railroad track that I'm getting ready to. I cross every day. Yeah. And this day I was fed up. It hurt. I was tired of it. I couldn't do it anymore. I'm done. And so I laid on the tracks. And I was waiting for it. And I was like, I'm done.
Preacher. Preacher solid need to be heard, man.
Hey, man. It went from like not knowing how to ask for help to just saying done. Uma.
Yeah. How old were you? How old were you at this time?
Freshman year, it's 15.
15 years old. Yeah. So young. So young.
That's such a hard
so young, It's a very emotional, so young. Obviously, the train didn't run you over, so
Thank God. Thank
God. What pulled your ass off of the goddamn railroad tracks?
What was your uplifting moment?
It was getting real when I felt the train. It started to.
You started, you could feel that.
I saw it.
For real?
And then
it's just like what's that?
Inception, you know.
Inception, yeah.
I was on it ready, and then through God, I got this memory of my 8th grade year in Hawaii, and I had this girlfriend at the time. And this one time, like when you're young and you're in love, no one else in the world exists but you and your other.
Mm-hmm.
And this one time, her uncle had like a little house party, and she's like, "Do you want to come?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." And then Lil Zeke, was at the house, and he was like, "Can I come?" I was like, "Okay." Call mom and be like, "Yeah, Zeke's gonna come with us. We're gonna chill and stuff." We get there, and I was like in Hawaii at a house party, and they had like a big old tent, dance floor, bro, DJ. I was like, these guys are getting down. So everyone's just hanging out, chilling, and like I'm out there with my girl. We're dancing and stuff, and Zeke's on the side just watching, having a good time. But like he's just like little baby boy. And then I told her, "Hey, can you go dance with him?" And she's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." She goes, she dances with him. He's having the time of his life. And like, he's just so ecstatic. And then at the end of the song, she kissed him on the cheeks and like, "Thank you, Ezekiel." He lit up the fucking island.
Yeah.
He just like so excited and just trying to look for me. He didn't know I was like behind him. But he's just like running around looking for me. And like he finally found me, like, "Sally, she kissed me." And like from there, and then like another memory of like my beach bum days when I tried to dye my hair blonde.
I think
nothing wrong with being blonde.
I think we all
blondes have more fun.
But I didn't train it well because like it was orange.
That's the Samoan blonde.
Yeah, exactly, the poly blonde.
The poly blonde.
I dyed it, and I went out after the shower. Zeke was sitting in the chair in the garage, asking if I could dye his hair too. I'm like, okay. So I gave him streaks, and then it hit me like everything that I've done, everything I do, this dude is watching. This dude mimics. This dude is watching so closely. If I were to do this, what would he do?
Right. It might have an impact on him.
How would he handle this? Who's going to be there for him? And I kid you not, that gave me enough strength. I got up. Woo!
Wow.
Train was right there.
Holy shit. That's
so
close.
That's
an enlightenment.
Oh man.
Big shout out to
Zeke.
To Zeke, and not only to Zeke, but to that family love, because without that, that wouldn't have pulled you off the tracks,
Real talk.
You had that Hollywood movie moment, that 3, 2, 1 roll over, vroom,
legit, yeah.
I thank God and all the the powers that be that you're here today to speak with us about this. And this what this podcast is about. It's about all things life, and a lot of topics financially related, but mostly, first of all, that's why I say life, because life is most important. Like this story that you told, thank you for sharing that.
You've come a long way in 17 years.
A lot of people out there that are going through some shit right now, that need to hear something like your story.
The biggest part of this that I had to come to acknowledge was like, one, it's okay if you're feeling like shit.
Yeah, it is.
Gotcha. And two, it's even more okay to ask for help.
Yeah.
And
most of all, you were only 15 years old.
Yeah.
You were 15, At 15 years old, Zeke was way younger than you.
Yeah, he was probably 8 or 7,
Yeah, at 15 years old, you still have memories of that. Something that,
good times.
Good things, love that can get you to roll off, and you're just young, man, but once again, I hope this podcast right here, your story, it's now. It's embedded in time. Later down the road, years from now, there'll probably be a I don't know about 15-year-old, but maybe that will listen to and catch this. So
whatever age it may be, they are going to
share it. Don't keep it. Don't be stingy. Share it. You're alive now. Mamuia, cheers to you and life and everything. Sharing these moments, these experiences in life, especially for our peoples, is the best thing we could ever do. While we're here on this planet.
Yeah. Like what's the sense of going through all that shit and not talking about it so that others can learn from it?
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Because who knows? Maybe
you were just a baby.
Yeah, exactly.
You were just a baby,
Well, like I said, and since 17 years later, that was kind of your bottom point in your life, and I appreciate you for sharing that.
Thank you for letting me. A couple notes. I once said about this, talk about how suicide is one of the most selfish things out there that you could ever do. I agree to that to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
There's also that point where people are so down that they don't see anyone else. They don't see anything else.
Yeah.
It's not about being selfish. It's like they can only see this as the only thing.
Yeah.
People need to reconcile that. First off, it's okay that you feel like shit. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then secondly, it's okay to ask for help.
Yeah, that's very
There is help available. Get to church, prayer. If you need to see a therapist, get some therapy.
Get some help
work it out. Do what you need to do. There's so much value in you as an individual, as you as a person, when you learn a value of death.
Yeah.
And hopefully people don't have to learn that lesson, but just trying to take it for granted. But life sucks sometimes, but it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's okay that you're going through shit at that moment. It's okay.
Yeah.
And then give yourself permission to feel what you're feeling. Don't fight it. All right, I fucked up. I need to fix this. I'm going to fix it.
Yeah.
It's okay. We're human. It's one of the heaviest things, as a young Samoan man, you got to be strong. You got to always show no weakness and all that stuff. At the same time, man.
Yeah.
That's the one main thing that's really I disagree with in our culture. I'm talking about the Samoan culture. I don't know about any other culture, but the pride is in a household, in a family household.
Yeah.
And I can speak on it from experience from a parent. Communication is the key.
Mm-hmm.
My dad, rest in peace. I love you to death. There was no communication. There was a sense of feeling. We can sense each other, but words, communication, talk, it was never there. But for me and my children, I like to communicate. Hey, son, how's it going? You good? Tommy, you all good?
We have the second oldest in the kitchen.
And
communicating. Look at you.
And I love to communicate, even when I do the podcast. If they're listening, I'm thankful they're listening because this is what we want to preach. This is our legacy. This is what we want to teach. Communication, being open, and always have. You got to communicate in order to you don't have to be strong to get that respect from children. Communicating, being a leader, you'll get respect that way also.
Yeah, you were saying that it is okay to ask.
But then again, that's old school though. Your dad, my bad. Well, they're old school. They're old school.
Yeah, my mom's 77. She's old school.
But we're trying to change the grain for our generator.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
She's the best. She will bend over backwards for my kids, for her grandkids, but for us, her kids, it's what do you want?
They're a whole different. They're a whole different
generation.
Yeah.
Oh, generator. They're a whole different generator.
It's a funny thing though, man. As we're reconciling, for that of what's been done before us and trying to make it better for those after us. That's how it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
I do find strength in communication. Like when you have someone like you're always known as being strong, just saying, "Hey, I need help." That reveals a new kind of strength. You'd be like, okay, and respect too. Like, hey, how can we help you? And then people realizing people can help.
Yeah.
It's and it's a bit ironic too, because like I still hold a lot in because I don't want to share everything because like everyone's going through their own thing, and I'm trying to keep things in perspective. And all right, it's going to be okay. Whatever I'm going through, it'll pass. I just acknowledging how I'm feeling at the moment, and then it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And then pray, and then like find other outlets and stuff. You know, I'm still going through my depression now, as is, but it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
You know, I continue and pray for like through the day. Where like, all right, this moment in the day sucks, and just persevere, breathe through it, calm, communicate, connect with family.
Yeah.
You know, write some music, play some music. You know, do what I can to like help me cope.
Yeah.
Help me acknowledge and
start a podcast.
Something to motivate you. Something to motivate you.
You got this.
No, I encourage everybody to podcast. Straight up, we don't have enough people out there in our community. I always push that out there. You know, I encourage everybody, but for whoever that are into it and stuff.
You find your niche, you'll be fine.
Yeah. So here's when things began to turn.
Okay.
The day after.
Yeah.
The fucking day after.
The
day felt different.
15 years old.
After I was ready to end it. One of my friends, Charlie Leonard, I'll never forget him. Tall old Palangi redhead. Sweet kid. He lived a few blocks away from me, and this once he told me come over after school. I'm like, okay. I went over, and you're talking about it, and he was talking about his parents' divorce and how he was going through it and how he coped with it. And so he then planted seeds in me. I didn't realize this at the moment, but like looking back, my brother was looking out for me, planting seeds, talking about like what you need now is something new, because everything else will remind you what you had and what you don't have. So we got to start something new. He started teaching me how to play the guitar.
Nice.
And the very first song I learned on guitar, Metallica, Fade to Black.
Oh,
okay.
And like that was the first song, and then we started talking.
My husband don't know Palangi music like that, so
I know Metallica. I don't know that song.
Yeah.
I know who Metallica is. Beavis and Butthead. They had a Metallica shirt.
Holy man. Like it was really cool. Like, and then from there, he just threw me in this new path in my life that now I play professionally.
That's
right
awesome.
on, right on. And that was your friend?
My friend Charlie Leonard.
Right on.
Sale.
Shout out to
another Sale.
Oh, another Charlie. Yeah, another Sale. There you go.
Palangi Sale.
Yeah, there you go, man. Big ups to your friend, man.
He then began me on this journey, and then I ended up having a guitar by accident. Thank you, Justin Phibbs. From there on, like I just kept learning playing guitar. Like it just became my thing. And
you found a love for the guitar. Yeah, nice.
There's a new avenue of music. I was exploring, and also it was portable. I didn't, because you can't carry piano everywhere and stuff.
Well, you can, but you got to get the big old case, and it got to be an electric keyboard with the folding stand, and you know what I'm talking about.
Exactly, but this time we just like pull out a guitar. Like,
yeah, guitar you can put around your back and just walk with it.
I'm pretty sure it was kind of lethargic too for you because it distracted you kept your mind at peace.
You know,
it gave me something new.
One of the best quotes I love in life is, one thing about music, when it hits, you feel no pain. And Bob Marley, man. That's why we were just talking about music with Isaac on that last podcast about how it's a time machine, right?
Yeah.
And every time you hear something that's good, like, oh
Just
man, it's
music is healing in all
Yeah.
aspects.
So
You ain't lying.
I love it.
From those playing and those listening.
Yep.
I love it.
So
So
we're working our way back to Seattle now.
Okay.
We're now back with Mama. We're doing what we can, going through finishing high school until I finish at Rainier Beach, South End.
Okay, Mikey.
That was my dream high school too.
Okay.
A lot of my family's gone through there. I was like, yo, man,
Right
let's
on.
do this.
All
There you
right.
go.
So,
shout out to RB.
and that was another piece that like helped further challenge this newfound gift, where I joined the African drums and the poly crew and the jazz band.
Okay.
And we played around. Like with the jazz band, we were actually pretty good. And the craziest thing is that our jazz teacher knew that the majority of us couldn't read, but the majority of us played by ear.
Yeah.
Hey,
So he taught us that way.
You're in a jazz band?
Yeah.
Hey, so I was like in the band in my freshman high school year, and the jazz band would play, and I would be like, damn, them fools is tight. Like the jazz band were always the upper cool guys that just be like jamming and be like, dude, I was like, damn, they're what's up, man. So that's tight.
And you guys didn't,
Yeah,
you guys
that's
didn't
That's
play
you.
off the notes.
I like that. I love the jazz
You guys
band.
just played by
Yeah.
ear.
We would play by ear. Like he'll like walk us through some songs and like, this is what we'll play. And like, he'll give us the arrangement, and that's what we'll play. And that's like when I jumped back on the drums just a little bit, jumped on keys a little bit, guitar a little bit, bass a little bit. But like it was just like he was just like, whatever you can play, let's play together. Like, you know, he taught us how to do these things. One of the biggest things that I learned from my mom, and credit to my mom, was when she would work with the praise and worship team, and she would just instill in them the sense of being sensitive to the spirit and sensitive to each other. There's some times when the mixer, the engineer, just is not catching those fades fast enough, and you might have to make adjustments yourself, and you have to listen to yourself and listen to those around you. And that's one of the things that carry with me anytime I'm playing in a band. But the jazz band was like one of the first times I was able to utilize that. And like one of the coolest things I learned from my pops was like just being willing to say yeah and try it out. And like, all right, I'll play drums. I'm not that good, but I'll play this. And then you'll learn how to play that beat. You'll learn it's okay. Just say yeah, don't say no, and then you just miss out on possibly learning something new. And so that was like one of the coolest things I learned from my moms and pops. It's like starting to work for me later. Then I met this girl, who was one of my best friends, but she was my girlfriend at the time, Vanessa Brandon, and the Brandon family. I got get into college. This is what brought me out to New Mexico. I went to
New
Mexico.
Now.
Well, I went down to New Mexico State first, like 3 hours away from Albuquerque and Las Cruces and stuff. And I started working out there, playing. I was going to school full time, but I was also still working full time. I would take naps that would keep me going, but for the most part, I just wouldn't sleep because I'm like, I gotta go to class. I gotta work. I gotta do what I can. And then I came up here to university in New Mexico, up in Albuquerque, years later, and was in the theater performing arts program.
Okay.
And one of the funniest things, one of the running jokes of being a Samoan in New Mexico is like, people find out you're Samoan, and the next question is, "Oh, what position you play?" Hey, man.
Hey, you know what? At least they know what a Samoan is in New Mexico.
Hey, man, they know what's up.
You know,
and they look at me again like, "You sure you play?" I'm like, "I'm done, bro. I'm retired. I'm an actor. I'm a musician."
Right, and they're like, "Huh?"
And more power to you, because there needs to be a lot more actors and you know, and musicians, you know, out there representing for, you know, the polys out there, man.
Right.
So it was funny, like being like maybe one or two Samoans in this whole state that's not playing football or rugby. But it was cool. Like, all right, I'm doing my thing. I'm grooving, man.
Yeah.
I'm doing some musical theater gigs
Yeah.
throughout.
Local in the local
Yeah,
area. Oh, okay.
yeah.
Right on.
It was just having the time of my life, enjoying it and having fun. And I was
Yeah.
working in this restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
They were working in the bar and stuff. And this was like one of the funnest times I've ever had because like I'm learning even more skills of like how to multitask, how to take care of things one at a time, and also like being in the bar is like one of the funnest damn things ever because like the bartenders knew my shortcomings, but they knew my strengths, and also I knew their shortcomings and I knew their strengths.
Right.
But like one of my biggest strengths is like I can really connect with people.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's one of the coolest things I learned from my pops. You know, my dad could talk to anyone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's like for anything in our family, bro, you can talk to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but like I would really connect, and we would get some good damn tips.
There you
Right.
Like and like
Okay.
it was, I knew how to work people, and like a lot of my side work, I worked well, but I was just slow at times. But they're like, we will work that if you can get us some money. I'm like, word, I got you. Like,
go. Okay.
and so like I had it got to the point where like even I had my own regulars. Each of us we all had our own regulars, but then there was also the sale bar menu, and like I had specialty drinks. One of my favorite drinks I used to make was the Samoan drop. It was a shot.
Oh dear.
Okay.
It has to be a drop. What'd you drop?
And I made it in such a way that it tastes like juice. But little did you know, you just took a triple shot.
Oh,
Oh.
jeez. Nice.
So did they drop? They dropped like halfway out the door.
Exactly. And then
And
I
they
had
didn't even
another.
know. They didn't even know that a Samoan drop is actually a wrestling move. That was
Yeah, they
that.
didn't know. Yeah, exactly. Family stuff, man.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up.
I had this other shot called the Samoan Ninja, the
There you
Samoan
go.
Ninja,
Oi.
and like, what's this? Like, well, you see it coming, but there's nothing you can do about it.
So you got artistic skills. Yeah,
And
you went to New Mexico College, right? What is it called? The college you went to?
New Mexico State, then University of New Mexico.
Then University of New Mexico. You're jamming. You got these bartending skills and everything.
Okay.
You know, you start communicating with people. You know, all these things
utilizing
start.
that.
Yeah, and then they start adding up, and then you continue on.
The general manager, Steve Beck, has become a friend. Usually when I'm around, just like washing dishes or cleaning or whatnot, I'm just singing random stuff.
Nice.
I'm happy. I'm singing.
Yeah.
And like if I'm silly, stupid stuff. So like here we go, I'm washing shit. Look at you doing shit. like stupid, you know.
Yeah.
And he came up to me. He's like, "Hey, so you're always singing, man. Do you play music too? Like, it's been a minute, but yeah, I do."
Yeah.
And he goes, "If you put a band together, our restaurant's anniversary is coming up. If you put a band together, I'll pay you to play." And I was like, "We get paid? We can get paid to play?"
Right.
I was like, what?
That's what's up. That's what's up.
And so a few weeks later, the first band that I had was called the Dirty Shades.
Okay.
We had our first gig.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And it was the four of us at the time. It was myself, Mikey Hale on drums, Peter Mayor on bass, one of my best friends, Benito Bachicha on lead guitar.
Okay.
And then I was the variable, either keys or guitar, but I was doing lead vocals and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It was a cover band at first. And we were doing the thing, and then like less than a year later, we're doing like the restaurant.
Yeah.
The restaurant Fridays and stuff. Less than a year later, I got casted in this show called Legally Blonde, the musical.
Oh, okay.
It is really fun. So I used to dance with Isaac back in the day. He had a crew called Brown. He and Bell were running that.
Yeah. Oh, you danced with them too?
Yeah, man.
I didn't know that. That's nice. That's nice.
You shouldn't know that.
So you got some steps. You got some moves then, huh?
If need be, man. Yeah, dude.
Shouts out to Isaac and Bill.
Isaac and Bill, man, and Brown.
Mm-hmm.
That was the crew. We
No, you're fine.
we had one gig. It was fun, and then like we did other stuff.
Yeah.
But
so they casted you in the.
Oh yeah. So the audition for the show was funny because I was stuck in the bar. They let me out late, and I was pissed because like they knew I had the audition. I was like, I gotta go, and they're like, "Can you do this first?" I'm like, so like, boom, 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 got to do the work, you know. If you want to play. I show up to the audition late, and I was like, damn, they're already going to disregard me, so I got to show up and show out.
Yeah.
So I catch the dance, the choreography, after the second time they've done it, so I could do the whole thing now.
Yes.
And I still have to sing, and I missed it. But they're like, I want to hear you sing. Okay. But then they asked, can you rap? I'm like, yeah, I'm urban. Like, yeah, I'm urban enough. I can do it. Sure, whatever. And they're like, can you rap for us? I'm like, I didn't prepare one. So I was like, I said a hit, hop, a hit it. I was like, let's give it the rap as a light. And then during the audition, so I finished the singing. We're going back to the dance stuff. And I'm like, all right, I got to show out. So we're doing this part where we do the choreography, and then the last 8 count freestyle. Okay. And then he goes, I want you to finish with a big button. So like, give me something memorable at the end. And so splitting up now, like now guys versus girls and stuff. And it's like, all right, me and guys, he puts me with the girls.
Okay.
I was like, damn. I was like, cool. So I got to really show out. And these girls are getting down. So we're doing the whole thing. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to go for it. I didn't have enough time to stretch. I didn't have enough time to warm up because like they're already running.
You're already late. Yeah.
So on my button, I figured I'm gonna just go to a toe touch and then land in the splits.
Oh, okay. They said make it memorable.
Exactly. I hit it. I landed. Everyone goes crazy. I'm like still on the floor though. I'm like, yeah. I realize I tore my hamstring. Oh. And I tore my glutes. I tore my ass.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah. I'm still on the floor in the damn splits though. Oh. Yeah. And I was like, oh. I'm like, all right, are they distracted? So I like roll up.
Oh, like, no.
Oh. Like, can you do that again? I'm like,
nope.
Yeah.
Oh, you did it again? Oh,
and
man.
so we did the same thing and like landed right in. This time I tore it.
Oh no.
Like, fuck. So then they came up to me and they're like, all right, you got the part. You're in the show.
Oh, geez.
We're gonna figure it out. I'm like, okay. Okay.
I know it paid. Oh my god.
So, we had like 6 weeks to put the show together.
Okay, so
I finally told him what happened. Like, what the fuck? I was like, yeah, but don't worry, because they're like, can you do the splits again during the show? I'm like, yeah, I'll do the splits on the other side. So I'm stretching that side out now, warming it up. My left side is, I'm like, my left leg looks all mummified. I just like wraps and stuff on it.
Oh my god.
So I'm rehabbing this leg, and then opening night, the first show, we do the thing. I do my thing, land in the splits on the other side. I tear that hamstring.
Oh,
damn. But this time, just the hamstring. I was like, all right, it's manageable. But we had like the whole rest of the run. But like,
Oh,
I was finding different ways to like make it work and stuff. And I was like landing in like a standing scorpion. I'm like holding my leg up and stuff. So, but it's like, that's just be stretching, but I worked it into the dance routine. So, but at least I'm not like jumping and landing in a dance splits.
Right.
Like, it was good until like the last weekend, the last show. And I was like, all right, we got this. It was the last run. I'm going all out. I'm doing splits again.
Oh,
I
dear.
actually make it
Lord.
through. I make it through, but
Okay,
like my
okay.
legs are bruised, like. And then they're like, "Hey, is it okay if we add 2 more weekends to the run?" I'm like,
No.
"Yeah."
Oh no.
Yeah. So like, I'm doing all over again, rapping, ice, like rehabbing and shit throughout the whole week. All my friends, I'm going to classes, and I'm gonna have to wear shorts because like I gotta let it breathe still. But at the same time, I gotta keep it. I gotta keep it wrapped. So like,
Yeah.
both my legs look like like my lower body looked like mummified damn legs and stuff. And everyone just kept looking at me. What the hell's wrong with you? Like, splits, man. It's for the show, man.
For the show. We got to do it for the show.
And like this like began my journey of like working as an actor and stuff. And
Nice.
and then we got things running in that show. One of the actors, her name was Amanda. And I later asked if she would like check us out, and if she liked us, why don't you join?
Yeah.
She later then joined, became the main vocals to the band, where we'll do harmonies and stuff, and we became a 5-piece band. And so Dirty Shades and I, we're doing okay. Like that year, we booked like kind of like a residency at this hotel, at this casino, and we played every Friday and Saturday from spring to fall.
Nice.
Okay.
And so it's like we're working, and then we were still playing at other restaurants, and we were still playing a little bit of some weddings here and there. Like, it's like we're doing okay.
Yeah.
And I was like, we can get paid. I was like, and I'm still bartending. I was like, we can get paid to play. It's that foreign concept.
Yeah,
like,
doing what you love and getting paid for it.
Exactly.
You're getting paid to do what you love doing. You had to tear your hamstrings, both of them, just to get there. But it was more than worth it.
Solid. Don't do the splits anymore, okay?
And those are the things the things you gotta do, the sacrifices you gotta take in order to get there. But once you get there, it's lovely, right?
Like I'm working. I'm like, yo, like this is the journey's going now. Like the Dirty Shades is happening. And one of the craziest things is that we're not really pushing ourselves. A lot of our work came from word of mouth. People just calling like, "Hey, can y'all do this?"
That's the best thing. That's the best thing I think. Is when you put your content out there, your talent out there. Word of mouth is always going to be,
very strong.
Yeah, very strong. It's been there in the beginning of time, and it always be the number one thing to go. Boost anybody up. It's like, bro, remember back in the day? There was no internet back in the day. In those days, it was like word of mouth. You know what I'm saying? A phone call here and there, and people were like spreading wildfires about, you heard of Solid? Have you heard Solid this, Solid that? Yeah, man. I still think that holds true to today, even with social media and everything, though.
Word of mouth goes stronger than social media at times, man. When you have certain people saying certain things, like, I'll take your word over whatever this is, right? Any day.
Yeah. It holds true.
It holds weight.
It holds a lot of weight. So social media is strong. It's very powerful. But yeah, that word of mouth, it can get you beyond, the people you're trying to reach, But yeah, there's no doubt, man. No doubt. So where you guys at now? What are you doing now?
This moment, I was thinking like, all right, I could do musical theater.
Okay.
I could play in the band all day. I could do this. This sounds fun.
Right.
And then later, one of my usos, one of my brother, man, Steve Weir. He's like, hey, man, I volunteer. I work at this Comic-Con that comes out every now and then. Do you want to come and help? I'm like, what do you need me to do? Like, I know you can talk. Can you help with the panels? I'm like, all right, cool. It was there where I met who would later become my agent, Tina Presley.
Okay.
She was one of the lead people for this, but then the head guy, the head promoter, Jim Burleson for Comic-Con New Mexico. So I met him, and he'll become another family man, another Uso for us, man. I met him, and like first year, I helped out with some of the panels, and then like coming up the next few years, I now run the panels for Comic-Con.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what's up.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And like it's been cool, like and I got a strong team myself with Ian. when we're doing the damn thing, he and Troy, as we're both running panels now, it's a growing show. But like I've met a lot of amazing people, hung out,
Yeah.
a lot of people, and drank.
Yes,
With
sir.
a lot of people.
Oh my
Yes, sir.
God.
Have you seen a lot of polys out there in the Comic Cons? Because I know a few
Nah.
people who love.
No,
you
yeah, I
know,
don't know very
it's
many.
very rare.
Actually, I don't know any.
There's only
Very rare.
5 families here.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
yeah, okay, never mind. That's in New Mexico then, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
but
geez.
Yeah,
like I know Polly's. I know that they run deep out there for the Emerald City Comic Con.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Out here, yeah, I know. I got a lot of nephews who be attending the Comic Cons out here in Seattle every time we touch down, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of polys in San Diego. I think that's the
Oh, God,
original
yeah.
Comic Con or whatever. But
Oh, so only 5 families out at Albuquerque, huh?
There's like 5 families that I know of, 5 Samoan families that I know
Yeah.
of out here.
Because I know his uncle's brother lives out there. He's married to a Mexican lady. I think they have 3 kids. Uncle Vico.
Out there.
Uncle Vico. Yeah, Vico
Yeah.
and
My auntie's brother-in-law,
last
Uncle
name
Vico,
is Nicolau.
Yeah, he live out there.
Nicolau,
That's right. I forgot
out
about
here in Albuquerque.
Yeah. He was in the
Sure.
military. Yeah, so he got stationed. I think he got stationed out there, met his wife, and got married, and so they have like 3 kids. I remember. I think the daughter just graduated from high school out there, like last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's. I mean, yeah, and I'm pretty sure like there's probably just a handful of polys out there somewhere.
Yeah, there's actually at least one halal out here. Actually, a very beautiful family.
Oh wow.
Nice.
And very good people. I show some love to them when I can.
So you're like the celebrity in New Mexico, then, correct?
I'm no one, so.
Well, I mean, you're out there in New
someone.
Mexico. You're an artist. You're doing things. I love your Instagram page.
It's fun, man. Thank you.
Everything's popping out there for you.
Well, one of the craziest things was one of the funnest nights we've had with one of the Comic Cons was one of the celebrities wanted to throw a concert for his band at the show.
Yeah.
People were there, having fun, and then I'm coming off of a full week of not sleeping.
Oh man!
And I was like, I see you. There's a lot of noise. You're doing good though. I'm just going to the other side where there's a piano. And so like as this concert was finishing up, I'm already on the other side, and it's just me and the piano and I. We're just vibing. And then all of a sudden, everyone from that show was working their way to us. We then had and ended up having like an after party that went for like 5 hours, and we're playing, we're singing, we're going like, and like everyone was coming through.
Nice.
And it was like there's some video of it, but like one of them, everyone knew that like Jameson was like, if you want to keep it going, just keep the Jameson coming. And
that'll keep the party going.
Bro, what's his name? Randall Park, the guy who played Darth Maul.
Okay.
He came out and brought me a bottle of Jameson and said, you sit your ass and you keep playing. I'm like, yeah, man.
You got it.
Man.
Oh man, that's funny. My friend,
thank you.
My friend Law, he would love that because he's such a Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, he loves
your boy, man.
Star Wars, man.
Darth Maul and I were drinking and singing all night.
That's what's up. And he said, sit your moolie down there. I got a bottle of Jameson for you. That's tight. That's tight.
Word, man. But like that, like it was really cool though, like random time, like connecting with other people and like other artists and stuff. And like I now know the artist who did the have you seen the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Batman? Have you seen that?
No, that's that new one that's out, right?
Yeah.
No, I haven't been able to see it, but I saw that.
I never heard of that. Which one is that? Is that an
just
animation?
Came out, bro.
Is that, are you serious?
Animation, yeah.
Oh,
animation.
Snaps. Okay.
You got to see Batman has a one-on-one with Shredder for a second. It's sick, bro.
Okay.
One of my friends did the art for that. I know the artist.
Nice.
Yeah, if you're not a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan, so you have no idea who Shredder is, believe me, you gotta.
If you don't know who Shredder is,
if you don't know who Shredder is,
you up right now.
Or even Splinter, or yeah. You know, this day and age is different.
So what are you guys doing now? Where are you at right now?
Yeah. Later, like one of those years, the promoter, Jim Brosen, he also produces movies. He's also an actor.
Okay.
And he was doing this movie, and he needed some security.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And so he hit me up like, "Hey man, do you have any Usos that you hit?" I'm like, "Actually, I do."
Mm-hmm.
And what do you need? And I then began like I had a little security company for a second.
Oh, okay.
And he was my only client, and he made film, and he would hire me, and I would just hire my squad, and and that's what started me into film.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nice.
like as security and stuff, and then as that was happening, Tina was talking to me. She's like, "There's something." She's just trying to talk to me for a bit, and she's talking about like, what do you need an agent? Do you want to do into acting? I'm like, I do musical theater, and I'm a musician. She's like, what if I can get you on film? I'm like, well, okay. And then but I was like, I'm a musician though, and she goes, but she was fervent about it. She kept going. And then she goes, all right, dig on this. I got you an audition. And I was like, okay. But she goes, what's the worst that could happen? If you book this, I will be your agent. If you don't, I'll stop talking about this. I'm like, okay. I had nothing to lose.
Yeah.
And I got the part.
Hey.
Yes, because she's your agent right now.
She's my agent now.
Yeah.
And it was one of those cool things I learned from my dad. Like he's like, just say yeah and figure it out later.
Yeah.
And my first audition with her, I got the part and ended up being a reoccurring role in this show.
Mm-hmm.
And the lead actor of the show is Nick Nolte.
Oh, nice.
Big ups.
Wait a minute. What's the name of the show?
Nolte.
The show's called Graves.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
And it was a really cool story about like former president years later. He then kind of starts understanding his policies wasn't really good for America. So then he then goes on as a little bender, like trying to make things right.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool show. It went 2 seasons. I'm in the first season.
Nice. Nice.
And I played a cartel.
Hey, that's what's
Mexican
up.
cartel.
Okay.
But that's when like being brown kind of works for you.
Hey.
Yeah. You become a little bit more versatile. It can be a different ethnicity. So
where can you watch this show on?
It's on FX.
FX, yeah, nice.
And I was on the show for a season. A great crew, great cast, and that began my relationship with the local crews of New Mexico and stuff. So I booked that, and like I was like, oh damn, I got my first check. Like, oh damn, and then like I'm like, this could be a thing. I then began my transition of now just doing full-time film and music.
Nice. Okay.
And now I am fully just film and music.
So
and
present day right now.
Yes.
Film and music. It's that's just the beauty of it, to listen to your story of where you came from. The Samoan kid upbringings, ups and downs, moving past 15-year-old, just all that pressure and everything of of what you had to go through to now and what you're doing now, becoming an artist and what you love doing, being out there in movie land, working with Nick Nolte, bro, you know what I'm saying, and proceeding to continue to do what you love doing, music, acting, you know.
Yeah, you're a pop star and a movie star.
Yeah, and you're a cartel movie.
Neither.
No, but seriously
But
though,
in the Samoan culture right here, now, you are to us.
Like for me, Oos, like this is the 100% truth. Like you could be a Uso, you could go be raised to the church, have a family, your parents split up, and then you end up just saying, you know, F it, you know, forget the world. Yeah. I'm just gonna go get a 9 to 5. I'm gonna do whatever, and I'm gonna live, you know, my life normal. Or you can, you know, do what you did. You know, you fight through the battles, the pains, and you just whatever leads you into, you know, where you're at. You like you said, what your pops taught you was just do it, just try it, see what happens.
Figure it out later.
Yeah, figure out later. That's what you said. That's the one thing that we like to preach here. You know, I'll say it time and time again on our podcast, even on every about it's fear and self-doubt are the killers of personal, you know, genius. You know, and also, you know, you have to have courage and just go past your self-doubt, you know. Yeah. And that's why I love, like, when I had guests, you know, like you, fam, that comes on and just get past that fear and self-doubt. No, this is why I'm here. I'm here now. I'm being an artist. I'm doing what I love doing. But yeah, I'm also a normal person like you and everybody else there. And yeah, that's what I love, you know, what I'm getting from your story, bro. That it just hits, you know, hits home to all our peoples out there. You know what I'm saying? You know, I love it. Love it.
I'm grateful. Like as I'm not just an actor, I also like work crew stuff too, because I love staying in this world. I love learning, and like God willing, I'll, you know, be running my own production company, and like I have gained enough experience in the sense of like
being in front of the spotlight and in the back.
Exactly, yeah, and like
and then one day when you do that, then we can be like extras. We'll just be sitting like in the background, me talking. Like, give me some extras.
I know, right? There you go.
I'll mess up the scene. I'll just look at the camera like this.
Just tell me where you
keep looking at the cameras.
Hey, where do you want me
looking at the camera like
the light? He wants to be in front of the camera. I'll be.
No, but that's what's up, man. That's what's up. I love it. I love it. I love it.
It's been like from there on, like when I've gone full time, whether working as an assistant, getting coffee, I don't care. I'm doing it to my whole heart's content, because one, that's how I was raised, and also I know 1,000 people that would kill to be in my position. So I am not going to take that for granted, because like. You know, so I accept it as a gift. It gives me a sense of gratitude where I'm helping telling stories. That's what our people are. We are some of the original storytellers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you know, by any means, you know, that's how we do. So as I'm furthering my career in this medium of film and music. I've even composed these songs for like some short films.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Scoring stuff, because I love telling stories.
Of course you have, man.
You know,
you're talented. Yeah.
Multi-talented.
You can do musical talent. I mean, you got it. You were raised that way. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. It's also that ADD, man. It keeps
that helps too.
You can't move your mooly still, huh? Your mooly can't stay still, huh?
ADD is better than just having the
Exactly. I'll take it. But like, it's crazy though, because like saying yes and to life, man, has got me to some really cool stuff, but also some very heavy and harsh lessons of like, all right, I gotta learn. I was doing stunts for this one indie film that like never going to get through, and I should have asked questions. So that was like one of the biggest lessons I took from that. Okay. But I ended up getting injured, and I was out for a bit.
Did you do the splits again?
No, this one that would have been easy. This one was like a western, and I was supposed to be like working a stagecoach, and supposed to jump off, and then land, and then roll off.
Oh.
But we ended up going a lot faster than was expected, and I overshot my landing area, and I ended up pretty much fractured my ankle,
Oh.
dislocated my knee, displaced my hip,
Ooh.
and then separated my shoulder, all on the same side because when I rolled out,
Because
it
you
just was
rolled out,
bad.
yeah. Okay.
Because on your Instagram page, you were doing there's a video of you doing some stunt work.
Yeah, some prep work on. I do some of those.
So this was like, was this part of a scene, like doing a stunt, and that happened?
Though that was like just some stunt training under Curly Clapiao, my man.
Well, I'm glad you're better now.
You
look it now.
Yeah,
Was
you
this
look
a
good.
while ago?
This even though I got in a car wreck in December,
Damn.
that brought about a lot of old injuries that I've been just working through.
Yeah.
So all this downtime has been forcing me to be still.
Okay.
Yeah.
And allow myself to heal. And it's weird, like walk around without a limp.
Okay.
It is weird. Like even like last time when I came home last July for a gig,
Yeah.
I was in a knee stabilizer because I messed that up on set. I like,
Gotcha.
like it's just one of those things though, like I know how much pain I can take. I'll take it.
There you go.
And but like some of the most important things you got to learn is your limits and your boundaries. And like even though when you're young you think you can do it all, you could be proven wrong any given damn time. And, so I when I said earlier, like I would gladly put myself through the shit to make sure that those after me can have it easier. I'll go through all the unnecessary fire. I'll go through all of that just to make sure that my family, whoever wants to follow through, can talk to me. And I'll be like, don't go through this, don't do that, because this is what happens. Unless you want to learn for yourself, go ahead.
You either take the hard way or the easy way.
But I love that. I love that you're sharing out their experiences, for those that want to follow, especially for like in our community, our peoples out there, so like, my saying for people out there around the world, our peoples listening that can relate to being raised up in a Samoan household is, someone like Sale, can be a very, a big testament of encouragement to just keep pushing through, thriving through, and, fighting through, what you got to do, to be happy at what you love doing. I mean, you're sitting there beautiful in New Mexico.
I know. I'm loving that weather, bro.
You get to play that good music in your band, and you know what I'm saying?
And so now, I got the new band now, for Sale or for sale.
For sale, yep.
And so like the Dirty Shades, we ran our chorus, we done what we could, and like we've gotten like a cool little following here. There's love for us. We just kind of drifted, and there's still love for them, always will be. This time now, as I'm working with like for sale, like for this side, I'm the artist, and it's weird. Just used to just like support. I got you, or I like the music director. Like I got my eye on the band, or whoever's running that can run it.
Yeah.
But even now, like one of the coolest things about this band is every single person on this band, even more so, is better than me in my own damn band. So I have to be better.
They push you, They push you.
That's a motivator right there.
Exactly. I got a team of vocalists that can sing anyone, anywhere, anytime, and they're sick. Andrew Cooper, Summer Sun, Catherine Padrell, amazing vocals. We support each other so much, and like they also can run their own band. So when it comes time for them to show, like I show them off, like during the show and during the gigs, because the band, they deserve it too.
Yeah.
There's also like the lead guitarist who's also my right hand man, my brother Moso, Jamie M. Harrison, and I also call him Master Shredder. When he's ready to go, he goes.
Mm-hmm.
A man of many talents as well, like guitar, keys, bass, composition, writing, arranging, music director as well. Like he can run it and he will keep it tight. He's played with some amazing top cats. That's like, damn, he's still young, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like he played with a lot of Prince's old band too. Like done some stuff with them, and he played with some top dude, Grammy artists and stuff.
Some big names.
And,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you guys got? What do you guys got going on now? Like nowadays?
Right now we're chilling, man.
Well, of course, because of all the COVID stuff
yeah.
and everything. Yeah. But what are your plans for like the near future? What you got lined up coming up?
We have, Jamie helped me wrote. He's helped me write a song. It's going to be my first single. So, called "Try Love." I like that one.
Okay.
And then I brought in a few songs from the Dirty Shades, my Dirty Shades days. Do some rearranging or do some like top arrangements on top, and brought them into the new band. And then we got some more new music, getting ready to record when things are able to be safe. But
we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, all of that.
We were looking to come up in July, have our Seattle debut.
Gotcha.
But everything,
COVID,
everything went down.
Probably pushing it back or whatever.
Yeah. But like the whole band is 10-piece though. I have a 10-piece band, horn section, drums, bass.
When you guys make sure you guys let us know. You know, obviously we're gonna be there.
We're looking to make big noise, man. So.
Yeah, that's what's up.
If you're within like a 2-state radius, man, you should be able to hear us and feel us still.
What is So my question to you is, after hearing about everything that's been going on with you, and for listeners out there, it's like, what is your motivational tip for people to just keep pushing through, the hard times, to get through, to just do what they want to do and enjoy? What is your tip, your advice from Sale, Taylor, that you can give out there to people who want to pursue anything in life, whatever it may be, and if they're having a hard time trying to get there,
Being real and genuine with yourself first. I was talking to one of these kids. She just graduated high school. And one of the things that was taught to me there's two cool things that I carry with me. One, learn where you could fit in this society. Then start taking over the world from there.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, all right, you could do a better fit there. All right, this is what I can do. Then you can start taking over.
Yep.
I love that.
If you want to trailblaze, go ahead, be about it. Yeah. But you got to be genuine. You got to be genuine with yourself. You got to talking about earlier, acknowledge where you're at. If you're hurt, if you're in pain, acknowledge that.
Yeah.
Give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to have boundaries, and then learn from there, and then take over from there. If you're honest with yourself about where you're at, you can then take yourself wherever you want to go.
Exactly. I love that.
Ain't no long journey to carry well if you're in denial where you started from.
Right.
So,
tell them. Yeah.
So like, be honest with yourself. If you need a break, if you need help, ask for it. Take it.
Yeah.
And it's okay. I used to work as a first responder. One of the first things they trained us in was whenever you're responding to an incident, the very first thing you have to do is assess the situation. But you got to make sure it's safe for you to go in there before you can do anything else.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, and if it's too dangerous, they might be dragging out 2 bodies.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's true.
I've had to do that. So you got to be smart about things. Another thing is like budget your energy.
Yeah.
When you're budgeting time and you're working on self-discipline, you got to budget your energy. You got to pick and choose battles. You got to see when and when things are appropriate to work on, or you can table it and then work on something else that needs more attention, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like
Rest.
exactly,
Yeah.
ain't no sense on like freaking out over everything when you have no control of any of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I hope you're
budget
taking
everything.
long rests now instead of those little naps in between.
Oh girl, I'm sleeping the F in. I'm like,
A lot of
I'm
people
trying
are
to
loving it right now.
I'm trying to break my record of like 12 hours sleep.
Oh, see, there you go.
Yeah. We had our anniversary yesterday.
Hey, happy anniversary!
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, thank you,
And we
Mamuya.
just we just went to our sissy's house and had the other big sis come through with all the family.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't we didn't plan nothing. We was like, no, we ain't doing nothing for Annie.
We just need to get out the house.
We just want to kick it with family. We just
Same.
wanted to hang with family. You know,
Yeah.
that's what it's all about. And you know, it's all about like what we've been talking about, family. You know, keep family tight, family strong. And it's hard to do that if you can't, you know, do what your motivational tips were saying. You know, first thing, be yourself, be true to yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, budget your energy. You know, if you can't do those two things, then man, you can't hang in a Samoan household. You know,
with us, man.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Especially with us.
And Oos, I mean, there's so much going on in the damn world today, bro. You know, it's hard for people to focus, right? You got all the riots going on, you got COVID going on, you got, you know, it's sad to see graduations having to do drive-through graduations, you know, but you know, just being in the time right now, I think just focusing on yourself, is all you can do. You don't have time to focus on anybody else and the problems, even though we got all these problems going on. But if you could just understand there's problems going on, but focus more on yourself, then you'll be okay. You know, you'll be okay.
I'd say in addition to that, when you're focusing on yourself, I'd say it's also very important to keep things in perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And try to humble yourself and see like where you could fit in it. If you don't fit in it, and it's okay.
Yeah,
you might need to work on some more things for yourself. Or if you see yourself being part of a solution, then be about it.
Yeah.
You
be
know?
about it. Yeah. If you have a passion to be an activist and help things that are going on in the world, whether it be the rioting or the COVID, then if you have, like you said, be true to yourself. If that's what you're really truthful, that your heart is there, that's fine to do it. Do it.
Yeah.
It's just a good purpose. But if you're just being a little, you know, you're letting emotions get over you and you're not being true to yourself, you're just following the trend and you're out there just destroying things or
you're not helping
adding
anyone,
to the problem. Yeah, just stay your moody home. Be a non-essential.
yeah, exactly. Just chill. It's okay. Like, you might need to humble yourself and be like, hey, man, I don't fit in this right now. That's okay.
That's okay.
You know, it's okay. You know, just see where things happen, see what's happening. You know, don't lack that sense of awareness that like, all right, I'm only gonna focus on one thing. No, like gain a little bit of like broaden your horizon to grow that sense of awareness of like, I see what's happening. You can even question what. Actually, one of the best things that was ever told to me is from Vanessa, actually, and I carry this with me wherever I go. She wrote in this little book for me when I was getting ready to start college. She wrote, always ask questions. You'll learn a whole world more.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
Yeah.
I love that.
And like, that is something I have no problem with doing. Even when I'm working as an assistant in the office or on set, I've been able to get proper one-on-ones with like executives and studio heads, and like
I love that quote because it's something that a lot of Samoans can do. It's too much pride. It's too much pride. You want to ask a question? Why? Why do I need to ask a question? They're gonna make me look like I'm stupid, you know. But
And then look stupid. Who
Yeah,
cares?
exactly. If you ask the question,
Right.
you'll get
No
the answer.
question. No question is a stupid question.
Yeah. So, before we get offline, like, what is one thing? Like, there's gonna be, two people listening to this podcast. What do you want to tell? There's gonna be like so many people, bro.
Yeah, it's our joke because we started.
We started out with two listeners.
With two listeners, and we said thank you to those faithful two
Samoan
listeners
channel
who
grew.
watched
Thank
us
God
from the
for
beginning.
all the listeners out there, and thank God for all of our guests like you. What is one thing that Sala is about, and what you want to tell the people that are listening, out of your heart?
How do I say? My family and my faith.
Your family and faith. Keep that tight. Yeah.
I believe in man's faith, and man reflects on man's faith in God. So I will be that change. I will be that reasoning why you can believe in God again, because I will bend over backwards for you to gain some kind of faith, some kind of belief in something beyond yourself.
That's what more power to you. That's what we always preach here. You got to have faith in something.
Yeah.
You can't just go around, you got to have faith in something. We're Christians. We love Christianity because that faith is a foundation. Yeah. Whether you like it or not, whether you believe in it or not, have a faith in something, Whether if it's good over evil, ain't nothing wrong with it, That's why as Christians, we love it, because there's holes in our Christianity lives, but it makes us real. It makes us human, you know what I'm saying? And, I love that, what you just said, man. You got to have faith, to pursue, anything in life to keep you going, or else, like I like to say, you're going to be going cuckoo and end up shooting out schools and shit for no reason. You know what I'm saying? So
wasted energy, man.
Wasted energy.
I guess that's a good thing about that quarantine going on, is because there is no schools and we haven't had a school shooting. That's nice.
I'm telling you.
For that, man. For real.
I'm telling you. So where can all the people find you on?
Yes. So get in contact with you if they have questions, or
you got your Instagram for sale.
For sale 247.
Mm-hmm.
The same handle for my Twitter, even though I have like maybe one or two things on there.
Okay.
You'll see me get more active on that soon.
Yeah. That's like me though, bro. I'm not really like a Twitter or a social media guy, but I just do it to try and get more out there to help, So, but I love your Instagram. I love your Instagram.
You'll see me when you need me, man.
Yeah,
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, I do like that, man. Got some good content on there. And
thank
so, you, Instagram, Twitter, what else, Uz?
My artist page on Facebook, Sale Taylor.
Cool.
But yeah, thank you. I got a few. You could see me in a few things coming up, actually.
Hey, what you got going on?
There's a show that was supposed to be in Tribeca, but they shut the film festival down. But this was called Silk Road.
Okay.
Upcoming on that, it's a little part in there. But like, I also worked as one of the assistants. I was actually the first team PA, so I was in charge. I was responsible for the actors when they landed on set, making sure that they got everything that they needed. So I was working crew, and they let me have a scene.
Hey.
And,
nice. So production assistant and in the limelight.
As an actor, yeah.
Nice.
Both sides.
That's what's up.
Both sides of the camera.
You can see another show getting ready to come up called Alt, A-L-T.
Okay.
Alt, all right.
I think it's gonna be on Quibi. That's looking like it'll be like this out of this world show. Okay. You should see me in a few episodes and stuff.
Okay.
Actually, that was here's another fun little story for you.
Go ahead.
Just like, like how my pops taught me, like just say yes and figure it out later.
Mm-hmm.
It was my last birthday when I turned 32.
Mm-hmm.
My singers, they threw a little dinner for me, and it was like, all right, you know what? I ain't working on Monday. Let's get it. My birthday was on a Sunday, so all right, let's do this.
Yeah.
So I'm getting turned with them, but like I don't like get on or anything.
Yeah.
I enjoy a fine drink with some fine food,
Right. A
fine
little bit of
company,
buzz.
Yeah.
you know. But like, it's also like turned into like we're just singing and stuff, and
Uh-huh.
we're like a few hours in, and like I've had a few drinks. I'm just chilling now. I get a call from my agent Tina, and she was like, "Hey, what are you doing tomorrow? Are you busy?" I'm like, "Nah, I was looking to recover." She's like, "What do you mean, like my birthday?" I was like, "Oh yeah, happy birthday. What do you do tomorrow?" I'm like, "Nothing." And she goes, "All right, well, this role that you auditioned for, the person they got can't make it. Can you do it?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, I can." And she's like,
Awesome.
but she's like, call time is like in 5 hours. I was like, oh, so I should
So I
start
gotta
drinking
go
then,
home.
huh? And she's like, yeah, I should stop drinking. Like, I should not do anything else then tonight. He's like, yeah. So, but like, I said, yeah. And I was a last minute casting change, but I brought in all my own costume, but they're like, they were needing someone who could look like uh the name of the bar was called like a tropical theme, and so I brought in my like legit aloha shirts.
Nice.
Wow, we never seen. I was like, yeah, man, this is from New Zealand. This is from Hawaii. Like,
Yeah.
you're wearing those. They're like, I was like, all right, cool. So I'm on there sporting some real stuff and like.
Couple, stop.
And so like but like it just happened. We're just saying yeah, and we made it happen. Like I got a ride down there. I was hungover on set, but they didn't have to know that. But they gave me like a righteous breakfast. They understood too. They knew that it was my birthday. I was the last minute hire, but I was like, y'all called me like at 11.
That's what's up.
And expecting me to be doing nothing on my birthday. Like, no.
Yeah.
But no, like you just gotta say yeah and like figure it out.
Yeah.
Gotta say yeah, just gotta do it. Don't let nothing hold you back. No fear, no self-doubt,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Go, man.
Yeah. And there's some more stories that can go on and on and on. And we have some major news that we wanted to break off of this podcast, this episode with you. And I think we mentioned a little bit off of the last one, but we're coming to a season ending finale, and this episode is actually the second to the last episode.
Yeah, so we have one more.
So I'm just thankful that you're on season one. Because you're gonna be on season 2 and season 3 and season 4, because we want to catch up and see what's going
where you are
growing. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we're all about. Just it was so for all the listeners out there, we're gonna end our season. This is season 1. If you look on our podcast or even the channel, we'll say season 1, and we'll have this is gonna be episode 29 with Saleh. And then we're going to end off with a final episode. And then we'll be back for season 2. We're going to take a hiatus because that's the one thing we love about podcasts. It's like, it's
your own schedule, man.
You do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And we were like, you know what? Let's take a vacation. We're
going to take a summer break.
So it's summertime.
With the kids.
We started this podcast a year ago in almost a year. It'll be in June, Father's Day. That's when the first episode was. And I was like, yeah, we'll just take a break, and then we're going to come back probably in September. And, for all you listeners out there, future listeners that have been blessed with all of our guests, thank you, Us, for everything that you. Go ahead.
Since you're almost done with your first season, man.
Yeah.
How has this been for the two of you? From the first episode to probably episode 29 that you're working on now.
It's been a journey.
It's been a journey.
It's been a journey.
That's
a good journey.
It's just what we call it. It's a learning process, really, like a learning journey for us. If you listen to the first episode, I always talk about how when we started is because I was listening to podcasts prior to starting this own one, and from episode 1 to even now. I mean, dude, we're on Zoom now. We just started Zoom like a few episodes ago. And everything's a learning process, but
I can dig it.
The experiences alone from us being vulnerable and just talking about our experiences in the Samoan household to all of our guests that we've had on. It's been really, for me, I'm gonna put it like this straight out for everybody. Um, it's been really fulfilling for me because just like you, just like everybody out there in the world, all the listeners that listen to the show or watch the videos, there's always that one thing that you have that you feel that you're like, man, I've been put on this earth to be somebody. I need to, to do what I need to do to be out there, And with the podcast, for me, it's like, I think I found my position where I can leave a stamp on this planet, this world after I leave. You see, that's what I've noticed from season 1 is, what I really was achieving for is to, I like to always refer back. You remember that movie Troy with Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
Okay, so there was that one scene where there was a beginning scene where it was the battle, and the giant dude was waiting for it. He's like, "Bring me, your Achilles," and Achilles he wasn't even there. They go fetch Achilles, and it was a little boy, and he runs, Achilles, you got to go fight the other guy, for the war. And then Achilles gets up. He has on his horse. He looks at the kid, and the kid looks at him. He says, "Oh, why are you doing this? I would never fight him. He's so big. Are you crazy? I would never fight him," something like that. And Achilles looks at him and he says, "And that's why nobody will remember your name."
Remember your name. Yeah. I love that.
So, for me, it's like, this is why I'm doing this podcast, Uz.
Yeah.
It's to leave my name out there in the world, not only for myself, but for my children. I want them to understand that if you just learn the simple basics of financial education and to hear it from a Samoan's perspective, like you, like me, my wife, and all the previous, guests, then it'll be easier for our peoples, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Season 1 has been a journey, Us. It's been the bizarre, and I'm just happy that you're a part of it. I said it on episode 1. I said, whoever wants to be on it, please contact us. You're one of them, Moose. You know what I'm saying? So, thank you, Moose, once again. And
thank y'all so much.
Will you be available for season 2 and 3?
Yeah. Your family, man. Family.
We like to end off with a help tip. Now, you know what's going on, man. First of all, I just want to, send my love and, shout outs to the family out there. We had me and you, we had our uncle pass away. So big ups and rest in peace to Uncle Fred Taylor. We love you, Unc, and all the family members out there. We had a lot of people, pass away out here locally. Avia, Avia Molina. Yeah. We just had Isaac, on the previous episode. We were talking about, and how Avia was one of his inspirations and mentors. So rest in peace, Avia and the fam out there. Love y'all. Also to another local girl, Mara. She passed away too. Big ups to Sopo and all the family out there.
Yeah.
And just like everybody out there in the world, then you have a loved one pass away. This COVID-19, in the U.S., we've surpassed 100,000 deaths out here in the U.S. From New Mexico to Seattle to New York. And that's 100,000 in our country alone, not even including like around the world. So, I like to ask our guests, if they have any health tips, whether it's COVID related or whatever, man. What's a health tip that you want to give the growing Samoan listeners?
Moderation, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the things I'm learning myself. I working from like when I was injured from that stunt that went bad, I gained 80 pounds.
Damn.
Wow. Okay.
But that's
Cause
because
like
you were
I
injured. You
just
couldn't
stopped.
move.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like I
You're
was still
bed.
working through it and
Yeah.
depression.
Uh-huh.
But like now I'm back down to like I dropped that 80 at least,
Nice.
and it just took me going back to just moderation, but also like just being a little bit active.
Yeah.
When the sun's down and it's no longer in the triple digits,
Mm-hmm.
I'll go for a 4.5 mile walk.
Nice.
Like just move and stuff. It's funny though, like we come from a long lineage of warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Our bodies know how to fight. We know how to instinctively fight.
Yeah.
So if you can keep yourself at least in warrior shape where you can react to something appropriately.
Yeah.
We are known for being peacekeepers, but also like short tempered, but like no, like also like the nicest people you'll ever know.
Yeah.
But like one of the things you can do, like I grew up fighting, grew up martial arts and stuff. There's a minimum fitness level that I have to keep myself because I've had to respond to a few things and I've had to react to certain things. And if I'm not able to do the bare minimum, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or someone else is dead due to my negligence.
Yeah.
So like whatever you could find out what at least your minimum fitness level should be, aim a little higher than that then.
Hey, there you go. I love that.
Then,
I love that. Moderation and aim a little higher.
yeah.
If you don't believe me, you go to Solid's Instagram page and you'll see him in the stunt video. He does like a flip. And I was like, what? You look like you was in like a WWE move when you were flipping around after he like did a roundhouse. Remember how he did a roundhouse back kick? So,
Would be it was like what Keisha would do when it gets like a big clothesline and stuff.
Yeah, but you did like a full like backflip. Somewhere I was like, that's tight, So, hey, thank you for once again for being a guest on our show.
Thank you for being encouraging and inspiration.
Yeah.
And hopefully hopefully your story will touch a lot of people out there that really, really needs it and are going through the same thing.
Yeah,
I'm just following y'all lead. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, don't follow my lead too far because sometimes I get a little misguided and no, you know what? That's good. Follow my lead because if I get misguided, you be like, "Hey, fool, get back on the road." I'm like, oh, okay, my bad. I'm drifting off here.
That's what we do, man. That's what we do. We hold each other, man.
Love you, fam. Just thank you once again. Tell the viewers a little bit about your garden in the backyard because you say you had some avocados and
all this downtime I've had to reconnect with my land. With my, we are children of the sun, and
that's right.
We sprouted from the land. So my neighbors have helped me get reconnected. So as you see, my little rose bush.
She noticed that.
Parsley, oregano.
Hey.
Garlic, fresh garlic. Avocado is working in here again. Then something right there.
That's right. That's right.
The big tree behind me is my walnut tree.
Oh, okay.
And then a smaller tree to the side is my apple tree that I'm trying to save back. So it was struck by lightning.
Oh dear.
But like half of the tree is still alive. So I'm just trying to
try to prune it back to life.
Exactly. But no, just reconnecting. Also got like a rosemary bush in there.
Okay. Got your own spice garden.
Girl. My neighbors, they got like a lettuce garden, chard garden, and they even try to grow their own bok choy too.
Nice.
Hey, gotta throw that bok choy in there.
Yes, sir.
Bok choy life, man.
Well, there it is, live and direct from New Mexico.
From New Mexico, and so jelly about the weather out there behind them.
It's hot. It's hot.
Yeah, I wish we were out there.
It's cold.
Like we're already in triple digits. Yo.
Loving everything that you're doing out there.
Thank you for your story.
Thanks for coming out, and bro, that your story is gonna touch a lot of hearts out there, man. I thank you for being vulnerable and just being a part of the growing Samoan world, and
thank you.
All our listeners who will be watching and listening to this, please we're gonna leave our contacts for Sale.
Yes,
You know, all
yes.
at the bottom of our show
So
notes if you want to contact him and check it out. Check out the Instagram page. It's fire. You know what I'm saying? And you know, other than that, you know, we just want to say thank you once again.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you.
we're gonna take a picture.
Yes,
We'll just say, just take a pose right here. Do whatever you want. In 3, 2, 1. Hey, there we go. We're good. And
Cool.
yeah. Oh, so we're gonna take a break. Yeah, I'm just thankful that we got family to be on, to talk to, and just always chop shit up. You know what I'm saying?
I'm about it.
Second to the last, and then boom. You know,
Thank you for doing this.
You're on season 1, Oos. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't
Yes,
believe
we're gonna
it.
check in next season so we can see how you're doing, where you're at, and
Who knows? Maybe we'll be doing this from set. You know?
right.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
We're gonna be sitting here sipping together.
So thank you
Y'all be doing it from my set. How about that?
Yeah, exactly. We'll be in the background and right there. No, I'm telling you, I mean, we have big plans going on and for the future and our podcasting, and it won't happen, or it can't happen without, you know, help from, you know, like family, like from you and friends that are, you know, just being able to reach out and to help us. So you know,
Hey,
it's
Sale,
just so famous. You know what I'm saying?
Praying God's blessings on you, on your future endeavors, that you stay healthy. No more splits, okay, my dear.
Last words out to the family and the viewers before we end.
Keep moving and grooving, baby.
Keep moving and growing, baby. I love you, Oos. I love you, Oos. Until then, to all the Grow Samoan listeners, don't forget to you know, share this with the family member that who you think really would love this podcast episode. Spread the word, because, you know, it needs to be heard. And, you know, subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes. And, you know, go down, leave a comment for Sale. Check out our show notes. Until then, keep moving and grooving. We love you guys. Tofa, soy fua.